Listen closely. What you choose to speak and what you choose to keep silent will decide the course of your life. Not everything should be shared, no matter how much you trust someone or how close they are to you. Some truths, if spoken aloud, weaken your spirit and expose you to envy, judgment, and sabotage. Others, if kept guarded, become a hidden well of strength, protecting your peace and amplifying your power. People who live with quiet confidence understand this rule. They don't reveal every plan, every hope, or every struggle. Instead, they guard their deepest dreams and intentions, allowing them to grow in silence. This is why some succeed without fanfare, while others, who constantly broadcast their every move, find their lives filled with unnecessary obstacles and disappointments. If you've ever wondered why your progress feels blocked or why your efforts seem to unravel, it may be because you've let too many people into your inner world. The wisest among us speak less and achieve more. Shield your ambitions, your pain, and your blessings. Your destiny depends on it. Your goals and dreams. Everything you have been doing wrong starts with your mouth. You have been giving away the most sacred parts of your journey to people who do not deserve to hear them. You have been handing your power to those who have no intention of protecting it. And now you wonder why your dreams feel weak, why your ambitions collapse before they even begin, why you start with fire and end with ashes. The answer is simple. You have been talking too much. You have been sharing things that were meant to stay between you and God alone. There are secrets in your life that must remain hidden, not because you are ashamed of them, but because they are too powerful to be exposed before their time. If you want to rise, if you want to become the person you were created to be, you must learn the ancient law of sacred silence. God said never share these things with anyone, and today you will understand why. The first thing you must never share is your goals and your dreams. This is not advice, this is a command. When you speak your vision into the ears of others before it has taken root, you invite destruction. You think you are seeking encouragement. You think you are building accountability. But what you are really doing is leaking the energy that was meant to fuel your journey. Every dream has a gestation period. Just as a seed must remain buried in darkness before it can break through the soil, your vision must remain protected in silence before it can manifest in your life. The moment you speak it carelessly, you expose it to forces that can destroy it before it has a chance to grow. Most people do not want to see you succeed. This is not bitterness speaking. This is truth. Even those who love you carry their own fears, doubts, and limitations. When you tell them your dreams, they filter your words through their own failures. They project their disappointments onto your vision. They plant seeds of doubt in your mind without even realizing it. Their questions become your hesitation. Their skepticism becomes your uncertainty. And slowly, the fire that once burned in your chest is reduced to smoke. This is why the wise man guards his mouth. He understands that words are not just sounds. They are containers of energy. When you speak your goal aloud, you release the pressure that was meant to push you forward. You feel a temporary relief, a sense of validation, but you have traded future achievement for present approval. The universe rewards those who work in silence and let their results make the noise. Think of the greatest achievements in history. They were not announced before they were accomplished. The builder does not show the world his foundation while it is still being laid. The warrior does not reveal his strategy to his enemies. The farmer does not dig up his seeds to show others they are growing. And yet, this is exactly what you do every time you share your dreams with people who have not earned the right to hear them. You must become ruthless with your silence. When someone asks what you are working on, you are under no obligation to answer. When they press you for details, you do not owe them your blueprint. Protect your vision like a king protects his treasure. Guard it like a mother guards her child, because that is exactly what it is. Your dream is your offspring. It needs nurturing, not exposure. It needs faith, not the opinions of the faithless. There is a reason God whispers His greatest promises into the quiet of your spirit, not in the noise of the crowd. He does not broadcast His plans to those who are not ready to receive them, and neither should you. When you keep your goals between yourself and your Creator, something powerful happens. The energy that would have been scattered through conversation is now compressed into action. The time that would have been spent defending your vision is now invested in building it. The doubt that would have crept in through the words of others is replaced by an unshakable conviction that grows stronger with each passing day. This is the secret of the truly successful. They move in silence. They work in the shadows. They let the world wonder what they are doing while they are busy becoming unstoppable. And then, one day, they emerge with results so undeniable that no one can question them. That is when they speak. Not before, never before. If you have been sharing your dreams with everyone who asks, stop today. If you have been seeking validation from people who have never built anything themselves, end that habit now. The only approval you need is from the one who planted the dream in your heart in the first place. He does not need to hear your explanations. He already knows. He does not need to be convinced. He already believes in you. Your job is to trust the process, guard the seed, and let the harvest speak for itself. From this moment forward, treat your goals as sacred territory. Let no one enter that space without proving they belong there. Most people are not ready to handle the weight of your vision. Most people cannot see what you see, and that is fine. You do not need them to see. You need you to believe. That is enough. The silence you keep will become the foundation of your success. The discipline you show in guarding your tongue will build the strength you need to achieve your purpose. And when the world finally sees what you have been building in secret, they will have no choice but to respect what you have become. This is the first sacred secret. Never share your goals and dreams with anyone who has not earned the right to hear them. Let your silence be your shield. Let your work be your testimony. And let your results be the only announcement the world ever needs. Your good deeds. Stop telling people about the good you have done. Every time you announce your generosity, you drain the blessing that was meant to return to you. Every time you broadcast your kindness, you trade eternal reward for temporary applause. You have been doing this without realizing the damage it causes. You help someone and then you tell another person about it. You give to those in need and then you let the world know how giving you are. You sacrifice for others and then you wait for recognition. This is the second thing God said you must never share with anyone. Your good deeds are between you and your Creator alone. When you do something kind and then announce it to the world, you have received your reward in full. That reward is the admiration of people, the nod of approval, the momentary feeling of being seen as generous, but that is all you will ever receive. The greater reward, the one that was waiting for you in ways you cannot see, has been forfeited. You traded gold for copper. You exchanged the eternal for the temporary, and you did not even know it. The wise understand that true generosity requires no audience. The man who gives in secret gives with pure intention. His left hand does not know what his right hand is doing. He does not need a witness. He does not need applause. He does not need the world to call him good because he knows that his actions are recorded in a place where nothing is forgotten. This is the kind of giving that moves mountains. This is the kind of kindness that opens doors you never knew existed. When you give without seeking recognition, you activate a law that cannot be broken. What you send out in secret comes back to you multiplied in ways you could never predict. But when you give and then announce it, you short-circuit the process. You interrupt the flow of blessing before it can complete its cycle. Most people give to be seen. They volunteer so they can talk about volunteering. They help others so they can be known as helpful. They sacrifice so they can wear their sacrifice like a badge of honor. But this is not generosity. This is transaction. They are buying reputation with acts of kindness, and the price they pay is the loss of something far greater than reputation, the loss of divine favor, the loss of supernatural provision, the loss of the invisible hand that guides those who serve without seeking credit. You must examine your heart with brutal honesty. Why do you do the good things you do? Is it because you genuinely care about the well-being of others? Or is it because you want others to see you as caring? The answer to this question reveals everything about the state of your soul. If your first instinct after doing something good is to tell someone about it, you have exposed your true motive. You are not serving, you are performing. And performers do not receive the rewards meant for servants. From this day forward, let your good deeds be buried in silence. When you help someone, tell no one. When you give to those who cannot give back, let no one know. When you sacrifice your time, your energy, your resources for the benefit of another, let it remain a secret between you and the one who sees all things. This is not about being humble for the sake of appearing humble. It is about purifying your intentions until your giving becomes genuine. It is about training your heart to expect nothing from people so that you can receive everything from God. The man who gives in secret becomes a channel for blessings he could never create on his own. He does not chase opportunities. Opportunities chase him. He does not struggle for provision. Provision finds him. He does not beg for favor. Favor follows him wherever he goes. This is the reward of the one who refuses to broadcast his own goodness. There is another danger in sharing your good deeds. When you tell others what you have done, you invite their judgment. They begin to measure your actions against their own standard. They question your motives, even if your motives were pure. They compare your generosity to what they think they would have done. And suddenly, the simple act of kindness you performed becomes a topic of debate, criticism, and opinion. You did not need any of that. You did not ask for any of that. But the moment you opened your mouth, you invited it all in. Silence protects you from the judgment of those who have no right to judge. It shields you from the envy of those who wish they had done what you did. It guards you from the criticism of those who will never understand your heart. When you keep your good deeds private, you keep your peace intact. You preserve the purity of your action. You allow the blessing to complete its work without interference. Consider how differently your life would look if you had never told anyone about the good you have done. Consider how much more power your actions would carry if they were never diluted by the need for recognition. Consider the kind of person you would become if you trained yourself to serve in total silence. That person would be unstoppable. That person would be favored in ways the world cannot explain. That person would walk through life with a quiet confidence that comes only from knowing they are aligned with the highest law. This is who you are meant to be. But you cannot become this person while you are still chasing the approval of others. Let your generosity be invisible. Let your kindness be unknown. Let your sacrifice remain hidden from every eye except the one that matters most. This is the second sacred secret. Never share your good deeds with anyone. Let them remain buried in the soil of secrecy, where they can grow into a harvest that no man can take from you. The world does not need to know what you have done, but the universe is keeping perfect count. And when the time comes, your reward will be greater than anything applause could ever provide. 3. Your family problems. The moment you open your mouth about what happens inside your home, you open a door that should have stayed shut. You have been doing this for years. You have been telling people things they have no business knowing. You have been exposing the cracks in your foundation to those who will never help you repair them. And then you wonder why your household feels weak. You wonder why peace escapes you. You wonder why the same problems keep returning no matter how hard you try to fix them. The answer is simple. You have been sharing what was meant to stay sacred. God said never share your family problems with anyone. This is the third secret you must protect with your life. Your family is your inner circle. It is the place where you are most vulnerable. It is the space where your true self is revealed without pretense or performance. What happens inside that space is not meant for the ears of the outside world. When you tell others about the struggles in your home, you do not find healing. You find exposure. You do not receive help, you receive judgment. You do not gain solutions. You gain gossip that spreads further than you ever intended. Most people who listen to your family problems do not care about your family. They care about having information. They care about knowing something private. They care about feeling better about their own situations by hearing about yours. When you confide in them, you are not building friendship. You are feeding their curiosity. And that curiosity has teeth. It bites when you least expect it. The words you speak about your family in moments of frustration become weapons in the hands of those who do not love you. They store what you say. They remember what you revealed. And when the time is right, they use it against you. They whisper it to others. They twist it to make you look worse than you are. They take the pain you shared and turn it into entertainment for those who have no stake in your healing. This is why the wise guard their household with silence. They do not air their struggles in public. They do not invite outsiders into their private battles. They handle what needs to be handled behind closed doors where it belongs. When you keep your family problems private, you protect the dignity of everyone involved. You protect your spouse from being judged by people who only hear one side of the story. You protect your children from becoming topics of conversation among those who should never know their business. You protect yourself from being seen as someone who cannot manage their own home. There is power in discretion. There is strength in silence. The family that guards its struggles guards its future. But there is something deeper you must understand. When you speak negatively about your family to others, you reinforce the very problems you are trying to solve. Your words have creative power. When you say my spouse never listens or my children are out of control, you are not just describing reality. You are shaping it. You are speaking those conditions into permanence. You are giving life to the dysfunction instead of starving it of attention. The more you talk about what is wrong, the more wrong it becomes. Every complaint is a seed planted in the wrong soil. It grows into more frustration, more resentment, more distance between you and those you love. But when you refuse to speak about your problems to outsiders, you create space for transformation. You stop feeding the negativity. You stop reinforcing the patterns that keep you stuck. You begin to starve the dysfunction until it has no choice but to weaken. This does not mean you ignore your problems. It means you address them in the right way with the right people. If your family needs help, seek counsel from those who are qualified and trustworthy. Seek guidance from those who have wisdom and no agenda. But do not confuse counsel with conversation. Do not mistake venting for healing. The friend who listens to your complaints over and over is not helping you. They are enabling you to stay stuck while feeling understood. That is not progress. That is a trap disguised as support. You must also understand that every family has struggles. No home is free from conflict. No relationship is without its challenges. The difference between families that thrive and families that fall apart is not the absence of problems. It is how those problems are handled. The family that deals with its issues privately and prayerfully becomes stronger with each trial. The family that broadcasts its issues to the world becomes weaker with each exposure. Choose strength. Choose silence. Choose to protect what matters most. When someone asks you how things are at home, you do not owe them the full truth. You can speak well of your family even when things are hard. You can choose to highlight the good even when the bad feels overwhelming. This is not dishonesty. This is wisdom. This is protecting sacred ground from those who would trample it without a second thought. Your words about your family should build them up, not tear them down. even in private, even in your own mind. Speak life over your household. Declare peace over your home. Declare unity over your relationships. Declare strength over your children and your spouse. What you speak in secret shapes what manifests in reality. Do not let frustration make you a destroyer of the very thing you are trying to build. From this moment forward, let your family problems stay within the walls where they belong. Let no outsider know the battles you fight at home. Let no gossip have fuel from your lips. Handle your struggles with dignity. Seek help only from those who have earned the right to speak into your life. And above all, remember that your family is a gift. Protect it like one. This is the third sacred secret. Never share your family problems with anyone who is not part of the solution. Your home is holy ground. Treat it as such. Guard it with your silence, and watch how God begins to heal what was once broken. 4. Your income and wealth. You have been making a mistake that has cost you more than you realize. You have been telling people how much you earn. You have been showing them what you own. You have been opening your financial life to eyes that have no right to see it. And now you sit wondering why money seems to slip through your fingers. You wonder why blessings come and then disappear. You wonder why no matter how much you gain, it never seems to be enough. The answer has been in front of you the whole time. You have been exposing what was meant to remain hidden. God said, never share your income and wealth with anyone. This is the fourth sacred secret, and breaking it has consequences you cannot afford to ignore. When you tell people how much money you make, you change the way they see you, but not in the way you think. You believe that sharing your success will earn you respect. You believe that revealing your income will prove your worth. But what it actually does is invite comparison, envy, and resentment into your life. The moment someone knows your financial standing, they begin to measure themselves against you. If they have less, they feel inferior, and that inferiority breeds bitterness. If they have more, they feel superior, and that superiority breeds contempt. Either way, you have created an imbalance that did not need to exist. You have turned a relationship into a competition without ever meaning to. Most people cannot handle the truth about your wealth. They say they are happy for you, but their eyes tell a different story. They smile at your success, but inside they are calculating what they think you owe them. They congratulate you with their words, but their hearts are filled with questions. Why them and not me? What did they do to deserve it? How can I get what they have? These thoughts poison the connection between you. And you invited that poison the moment you opened your mouth. The wise man keeps his wealth in silence. He does not flaunt what he has built. He does not announce his earnings to those who did not help him earn them. He moves quietly through the world, accumulating without advertising, building without broadcasting. His wealth grows because it is protected from the eyes of the envious and the hands of the entitled. When you reveal your financial situation, you also open yourself to expectations you never agreed to. Suddenly, people expect you to pay for things. They expect you to lend money you may never see again. They expect you to fund their dreams because you have achieved yours. And when you do not meet those expectations, they resent you. They call you selfish. They say you have changed. They accuse you of forgetting where you came from. None of this would have happened if you had simply kept your mouth closed. Your wealth is not a public matter. It is a private blessing that requires private stewardship. The moment you make it public, you lose control over how it is perceived and how it is demanded. You become a target for those who want what you have without doing what you did. You become a source of frustration for those who believe your success should benefit them. You become a symbol of everything they wish they had and everything they resent not having. This is not the life you were meant to live. There is another danger in sharing your wealth. It attracts the wrong kind of attention. There are those who will pretend to love you because of what you have. They will position themselves close to you, not because they value who you are, but because they value what you possess. These people are parasites dressed in the clothing of friendship. They will drain you financially and emotionally, and when there is nothing left to take, they will disappear as quickly as they came. You invited them in by showing them what you had. You could have avoided them entirely by keeping your wealth to yourself. Silence is your greatest protection. When no one knows what you have, no one can scheme to take it. When no one knows your income, no one can calculate what they think you should give. When no one knows your financial position, you remain free to give as you choose, to help as you see fit, and to build without the weight of expectation on your shoulders. This freedom is priceless. Do not trade it for the temporary satisfaction of impressing people who do not matter. You must also understand that wealth is energy. It flows toward those who respect it and away from those who mishandle it. When you speak carelessly about your money, you disrespect the blessing. You treat it as a topic of casual conversation instead of a sacred trust. And when you disrespect what has been given to you, it begins to leave. This is not superstition. This is law. The universe gives more to those who honor what they have been given. It takes from those who treat their blessings with carelessness. Guard your wealth with the same discipline you use to build it. Let no one know the full extent of what you have. Let no one see the complete picture of your financial life. Share only what is necessary and only with those who have proven their trustworthiness beyond doubt. Even then, be cautious. Even with those you trust, speak sparingly. The less people know, the safer you are. The quieter you move, the further you go. From this moment forward, treat your income as classified information. Treat your wealth as a private matter between you and the one who provided it. When people ask how much you make, you owe them nothing. When they pry into your finances, you have every right to remain silent. When they try to measure your success by your possessions, let them guess. Let them wonder. Let them never know the full truth. Your financial life is not their business. It never was. It never will be. This is the fourth sacred secret. Never share your income and wealth with anyone who does not absolutely need to know. Protect your prosperity with silence. Guard your blessings with discretion, and watch how your wealth begins to grow in ways it never could when it was exposed to the world. What is hidden is protected. What is protected multiplies. Remember this, and you will never be the same. 5. Your next move. You have been announcing your plans before you execute them. You have been telling people what you are about to do before you have done it. You have been giving away the element of surprise that could have been your greatest advantage. And now you wonder why your moves never land the way you expected. You wonder why opportunities slip away right before you grasp them. You wonder why it feels like someone always gets there before you do. The answer is painfully simple. You have been speaking too soon. You have been revealing your strategy to a world that does not want to see you win. God said never share your next move with anyone. This is the fifth and final sacred secret. Ignore it and you will spend your life watching others succeed where you should have triumphed. The power of any move lies in its secrecy. The moment you announce what you are about to do, you lose the advantage of timing. You lose the element of surprise. You give your enemies time to prepare and your competitors time to respond. You think you are building excitement. You think you are creating accountability. But what you are really doing is sabotaging yourself before you even begin. The warrior who announces his attack before he strikes is a fool. He gives his opponent time to gather reinforcements. He allows his enemy to study his approach and prepare a defense. By the time he arrives at the battlefield, the advantage he once had is gone. His victory was stolen not by a stronger opponent, but by his own inability to keep silent. You have been this warrior. You have been announcing your attacks to a world full of opponents who smile at your face while sharpening their swords behind your back. When you tell people your next move, you invite interference. Not everyone wants to see you advance. Some will actively work against you. Others will subtly discourage you, planting seeds of doubt that grow into hesitation. Even those who love you may unintentionally hold you back. They fear change. They fear your growth because it reminds them of their own stagnation. When you tell them what you are planning, they project their limitations onto your vision. Their fear becomes your hesitation. Their doubt becomes your delay. And by the time you finally move, the moment has passed. There is a reason the most successful people move in silence. They understand that talk is cheap and action is everything. They do not need applause before they perform. They do not need validation before they execute. They work quietly, strategically, relentlessly. And then one day they emerge with results so undeniable that the world has no choice but to take notice. That is when they speak. After the victory. Never before. You must learn to become invisible until it is time to be seen. Let no one know your schedule. Let no one know your strategy. Let no one know the doors you are knocking on or the opportunities you are pursuing. Move like water, silently finding its way through every crack until it reaches its destination. Move like the wind, felt but never seen until it has already passed. This is how empires are built. This is how legacies are created. Not through announcements, but through accomplishments. Not through promises, but through proof. When you keep your next move to yourself, something powerful happens inside you. The energy you would have spent talking is now available for doing. The time you would have wasted explaining is now invested in executing. The doubt that would have crept in through the opinions of others is replaced by a focused intensity that cannot be distracted. You become a force that cannot be stopped because no one sees you coming. By the time they realize what you were doing, it is already done. This is the advantage of silence. This is the reward of discretion. There is another truth you must accept. Not everyone deserves to know your plans. Most people have not earned access to your future. They have not invested in your vision. They have not sacrificed for your dream. They have not stayed awake with you in the dark hours when doubt was your only companion. Why then should they be given a preview of your next chapter? They should not. Your future is sacred territory. Only those who have proven their loyalty and their wisdom should be allowed to see the blueprints of what you are building. Everyone else can wait for the unveiling. You must also guard against your own desire to be understood. There is a part of you that wants people to know what you are doing. You want them to see how hard you are working. You want them to appreciate your effort before they see your results. But this desire is a trap. It feeds your ego while starving your progress. The need to be understood is a weight you cannot afford to carry.